are at Shelters by Jesus podcast, and we are so excited that you're with us, you're watching, you're listening, you're hitting subscribe, you're hitting like, you're sharing with your friends, because that brings money in. And if you want to help get people off the street, you go to sheltersbyjesus.com. If you'd like to give, it's $9. We'll get somebody off the street. We also have 4 books out written by the dumb hick from Skowhegan, me. And they have 2 prices, $10 are free. And you put your name and address right there and tell if you want books 1, 2, 3, or 4, all of them, we'll mail them right out to you. You also can call the office at 207-474-8833 and give them your name and address there, and they'll ship it. But the other thing you can do is get a tour. When you call that number, say, I'd like a tour, and you'll meet the residents. You'll see everything we have. And we're just excited about you being a part of this. So now, on to the podcast. All right, here we are. We are in an unusual situation, if you want to call it different. If you see, I'm not dressed in my usual just cut-off T-shirt that I've been wearing. I am wearing a biker vest. And I can do that because I ride a 21 speed at sometimes, so just joking. But I am with the Victory Bikers Church in Monmouth, Maine. And we've been invited in. They are going to be joining us doing some homeless ministry. And so I hope you're going to enjoy this. We don't know where it's going, but I never know where mine are going. You know that. So thank you for watching, though, and listening. And please share this with your friends and family and everybody. It means so much to the homeless. And I'm going to start off with Pastor Chris. First of all, Pastor, what do you think about this whole homeless thing?
Well, I think it's an epidemic in huge proportions that we need to. It's the church's issue to address. You know, Jesus called us to reach the least of these. Sorry, yes. Bugs.
Yeah, we're in Maine.
We're in Maine.
Yeah, it's bugging us.
But Jesus called us to reach the least of these, and that's one of the big missions of our church. Is, you know, we want to make sure that people that are hungry get fed. People that need clothes have something to wear. You know, people that are cold have a place that's warm to go. You know, that is what Jesus would have done.
It is. So
that's what we're going to do. You know, we are. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. If it was good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for us. Absolutely. So I want to make sure that, you know, as we heard about what you do, you know, we had been trying to figure out ways to kind of start this.
Yep.
And then I got to meet you.
I'm sorry. Everybody else will be sorry you met me too before it's over with.
But your passion for this matches ours. Except you've already taken the steps to start. So we're going to learn from you.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys come along. And one thing is, I'm looking forward to going with a bunch of bikers, because I'm sure people are going to look at you and you're rolling going, should we be scared? Oh, wait, they got a sandwich.
Right.
What is this? I mean, this is going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm even going to wear my vest when I go with you guys, man. You know? So we have Pastor Chris and we have
Andy.
Andy?
Yep.
Andy, what do you think about all of this?
Well, you know, it's funny too, because you need to educate people. You have people that, you know, look at the homeless and they're like, you know, why don't they just get a job? Yep. You know, what's wrong with them? I mean, there's jobs everywhere. Why can't they just go get a job and work like the rest of us? You know, why do we have to support them? You know, and but they don't understand. You know, they want to work, but they can't afford. You know, the rents have gone up, and, you know, just the cost of living's gone up, you know, so, you know, just making people aware that don't really understand, you know, they just see people begging on the road, on the side of the street, and they don't understand why. And so then they make up assumptions, you know, to themselves without, you know, sitting down and get the actual facts of why they're on the side of the road and why they can't go just get a job and live like everybody else.
Well, you know, they look at them kind of funny, and don't take this wrong, guys, but I'm going to state what
where you're going.
People are going to be obvious that I know when you go to some churches and you come in like this, you get people looking at you like you're those kind of people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And you know that ahead of time. Yep. So let me ask you a question. I don't know if you've ever asked. Why would you go to a church dressed like this?
Well,
Isn't that a good question?
that's a great question.
Thank you.
And that is one that has been many years in the making.
Okay.
The reason for this is, number one, Jesus has come as you are.
He does. I agree.
Jesus came as he was.
Yes, he did.
And technically, Jesus was probably the most well-known homeless person that was there.
He's probably the most well-known in history.
I would agree. But the reason for this is twofold. We as bikers, bikers need Jesus too.
Really?
But we as bikers, motorcycle enthusiasts, we are real people. And that is the reason why this church was started. We were started as a place for misfits and outcasts and don't wants and have nots, all of the people that Jesus would have been like, come follow me.
Yep.
Follow me is so important. I put it here on my arm. We built a church out of the people that the broken American church doesn't want. We are real. We are broken. That is the first thing you will hear when you come here is that there is a pastor that stands up front that is broken and human, just like everybody else.
There you go.
And we do this because the vest we have is a symbol of unity. This is how in the world that we live in, the world that we come from, it shows unity. It shows family.
Okay.
And it shows that when we're out, people know that we are together.
Yeah.
They know that we're together without these because we are a very tight group.
Yeah.
But the reason for this was bikers are misunderstood people.
Well, my age grew up with Easy Rider and all of those, right? And then when you see guys hogging into town, whatever you call it, they go, "Oh no, it's the bikers!" And then I come and speak to your church and go, "Hey, these dudes, they're not Easy Rider.
We're regular people.
They just ride. I don't know how easy the ride is. I'm not riding, by the way.
You're coming with me.
Hey, if it don't have a mane, it don't have a tail, and it don't whinny, I don't ride that sucker. I'll tell you right. Does his whinny and have a tail and
four
mane?
wheels.
I saw his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, imagine this. Imagine taking a group of misunderstood people.
Yep.
And taking that group of misunderstood people and shaking up what the world thinks church is. And then taking those people I believe revival is going to come from the people that are unsaved coming into a church, not church hopping.
That's not revival anyway.
It's just
revival is building the kingdom is
right.
revival.
But imagine taking the group of misunderstood people, putting them on the back of really loud vehicles and rolling into somewhere.
Yep.
And all we're going to do is be there to help. We're going to take the people that churches would look at and go, "Really? You're Christians?"
Yep.
And we're going to shake up the world and flip it upside down, and we're going to do stuff for Jesus.
There you go.
That's why this.
Amen.
All right. I like it. I've been to another biker church because that's how I got this. Chris Smiley passed away, and
Rest his soul.
but he read my books and was inspired and come met me, and then ended up with a brick church, and I was over there and spoke over there, and he brought this to me because he wanted me to associate with you guys, and they had a bikers church. They met in Bucksport area for a while that I went and spoke at.
Yeah.
So this isn't the first time I've done that. But this is really cool. But yeah, you guys struggle, but yours is intentional. I mean, you dress this way intentionally.
Absolutely.
The homeless, they're not intentional. People don't understand. They don't have a choice in how they dress up. They're not going to dress up and go to church, like quote unquote church. I don't dress up like they say either. So, but anyway, the homeless, like I say, I had this guy won one outfit all summer, and we give him some clothes and blew him away. If he went to a church door, he's not going to smell good and he's not going to look good.
He'd be welcome here.
But he'd be welcome here,
Yes.
just as he is at Shelters by Jesus. That's why we need this.
Yes.
And but we need more churches that when you come to that door, they don't do this, they do this.
Correct.
We need less judging, more loving, and that's
Right.
what we need.
That's right.
You know, there's enough judging out there. We got people who judge us ain't even Christian, but the problem is we get judged harder by Christians we do non-Christians.
I think that's true.
So Andy, what's your idea? Why are you hooked up with this outfit?
But because I was looking for a church that I could reach out to, the people that aren't saved, the people that like Pastor Chris said, that are the unforgotten ones, and the ones that believe they can't be in church. We had conversation with people that you said, well, if like the story you've told us, that if you knew what I did, Jesus would never love me.
Yeah.
So that's what we're out. We're out to get those people that Jesus will love you no matter what.
Amen.
And we need to reach out to them. And you go to some of the other churches, and it's more of like they act church, they play church, and then they leave, and they're not. They
It's
just
done.
yeah. And so I was looking for something that we can be outreach, we can be out in the community, not just sitting inside and playing church. I want to go out and spread that word to people that don't believe that Jesus is for them.
Yeah, it's too bad that our churches in America aren't reading Acts 2 and 4. I think it's about as clear as you can possibly get. When it says there was no needy among them, that means the homeless would have been welcomed in the early church.
Absolutely.
And they would have said, oh, you hungry? Let's have something to eat, man.
Right, let's go get
You need clothes, we'll take care of it. That's what was going on. And they were growing by the thousands. This is daily. People being saved, and churches aren't seeing salvation. They go, why aren't we seeing them? It's because they're not going out there where you guys are going to go, where I'm going. They don't go out where they are. And I hear all the time, hey, we're open every Sunday. They're welcome. Well, two things. One, number one, being open doesn't mean you're open to everybody coming. That's number
That
two.
is a big
When
truth right
they know they're not welcome. I've told the story because it makes me sick. It's a church and not too far from where we are. And they had on one Christmas, they had Christmas dinner for everybody welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my homeless didn't know that didn't include them. So they showed up for dinner. Well, they didn't know. Well, word got around the homeless were there. Well, next year that sign was up, and in front under it says by invitation only.
Mm.
And guess what? My people walked in, they go, that's us, Pastor, isn't it? I go, sorry. I said, wow. So God let us into this church, but he won't listen to that one?
Right.
I said, it ain't God.
Man.
That ain't God, man.
That's right.
God, Jesus didn't say by invitation. His invitation was, come on in, everybody. That's the invitation. It's an open invitation. And if you read about him at the banquet, he said, those that don't want to come, fine. Go out in the streets, the highways, the byways. Yeah, get those homeless people and drag them in here, because they're going to come and go, wow, there's a meal. I'm in, man. I'm in. Salvation comes easy. People say, well, what do you do for salvation? I said, well, we're on an assembly belt. I don't even have to go out and get them. God just sends them my door. Right. Homeless, we share the gospel. They get saved every week. Well, we don't go out and do evangelistic thing on the street, even though I think some are going to get saved before we get done. We're out there trying to build a relationship. But I think we're going to see a conveyor belt in these homeless communities before we're done. Mm. And it's not going to have to be like a church service. We're going to sit down and be talking with them. Because they're already asking, are you guys for real? Why are you doing this? All right, that's the opening. I don't have to stand up front and preach. I can sit like we are and going, I'm here because Jesus loves you, man. That's why I'm here.
Very much like we talked about earlier. The biker community and the homeless community are very similar in a sense.
Yeah.
They're similar in the fact that you need to gain their trust, and that trust comes slowly.
Right.
But very much like Andy was talking about, we want to make sure that we're genuine.
Yes.
And that's what this is. Jesus was genuine. He was the most genuine ever.
Yep.
And that's the model that we follow. We are genuine. If we're sitting with homeless people or drug addicts or whatever it may be, I guarantee 90% of the churches are going to look at us and say, why are you having dinner with these people?
Oh, absolutely.
Don't you know? Well, that happened to somebody else we all know.
You think?
So,
Yeah, they said he don't know, and it's like the Son of God didn't know. That's amazing.
right.
You know, he wasn't that smart. He was just the Son of God and the creator of the world. But he didn't know. Calling him right off God, man.
Right.
Who's that woman? Does he know who that woman is? Well, like I said, I got this young girl holding arms with a homeless
I saw
guy.
that picture. That was awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh, man.
Her and Andrew, and she's got it just like Jesus touching the leper that nobody would touch, and just reached out and touched him. And that's what you guys are going to be doing with us. We're going to touch some people.
Good.
We're going to touch their hearts. We're going to touch their hands. We're going to hug guys that haven't had a shower in 6 months, but they need a hug.
Yeah.
You know, and if God's willing, maybe we can get them to a shower. But the most important thing, yes, we're going to work this out as we go along. There's going to be ways to do these types of things. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about you folks and others that have joined us. We now have 8 churches and organizations that have jumped on and go, we're on. Some people after this come up after the service and said, can I give on your thing? I said, yes, you can. When you go, can I go? And I said, yeah, did you see Chris or whatever? And I'm getting PMs from people from other churches. They've been watching. They go, wow, what can I give? Can I go? I want to go. Right. Yeah, you can. So I don't know. Before this is over with, man, Jesus is going to really come to Maine homeless encampments in a big way. He's going to show up, and he's showing up in his people like he did 2,000 years ago. And I'm excited because he lets an old man like me, 74 years old, he lets me be a part of this, man. You know?
Like we talked about before, you know, I think there's a revolution coming. You know, there's a group of small churches.
Yeah, not a revolution with guns. We're talking Christian revolution.
This is a spiritual Christian revolution.
Yeah, spiritual revolution.
There are these churches like ours that we're small, but we're mighty.
Absolutely.
We're uncommonly generous with our words, our deeds, our actions.
Yep.
And with money as we can be. But what's going to happen is our church is going to partner with another church.
Yep.
And now we're twice as big.
Yep.
Right.
And then we're going to partner with another church and we're twice as big again.
Yep.
And guess where the workers in the field come from?
Yeah.
It's going to be in those little churches that aren't afraid to step out and not worry about nickels and noses.
You know, if you got 20 little churches, that's more than one big church.
You better believe it.
Amen.
Hey, come over here.
Oh, come here, Pam.
I want her right over here, right beside me. Make sure you get her on the camera. You come over here, because this lady, I just spoke, and this lady was in tears afterwards. And I tell them who you are.
I'm Pam Blunden.
And Pam, why was you crying?
Because it kills me to see homeless people on the road. And it just bothers me that these people have nothing to eat or showers or anything like that. Kids are on the road. It's just a sad, sad situation.
Thank you. What do you think about Jesus, Shelters by Jesus going mobile? What does that mean to you?
That means the world to me, because Pastor Berry here is going to help a lot of people, and we're grouping up with his ministry, and we're going to go out there with him, and we're hoping to heal a lot of people, and I think it's the most wonderful thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good way to end my podcast, folks.
Amen.
Thank you. Pastor, thank you for the invitation. Thank you guys for
welcome
having me and listen to an old man ramble on and tell his stories. But if you want to be a part of this, go to sheltersbyjesus.com. Please check us out. Go to our YouTube, Shelters by Jesus on YouTube, and check that out. And then again, as we said in the opening, please subscribe. Please hit like. Please hit share, because that's going to bring money in. And $9 a month, when you hit that little button, it's going to take somebody off the street. And if you want to be a part of this, call us, 207-474-8833, and say, hey, Pastor Barry, I want to be a part of Shelters by Jesus going mobile. And we are excited about those that are on. We're excited about what Jesus is going to send down. Let's take Jesus to Maine in a mighty way to the homeless together. What do you all say? Well, until my next podcast, y'all come back now here.